You want to know something that hasn't really been cool since I was a kid? Silly bands. You want to know something else that hasn't really been cool since I was a kid? The Halo franchise. Although you could probably make an argument that silly bands are still cool to these days. I don't know if you could do the same for Halo. But I say that because in some amount of days, depending on when I release this, the new Halo campaign Evolved should be coming out in a couple days, and I'm pretty excited for it, even though, again, Halo's been kind of down in the dumps as of late, and I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. I, unfortunately, grew up in the era, being born in 2000. The early Halo games were coming out when I was a kid, so I wasn't around to experience the old LAN parties on the original Xbox for Halo and Halo 2, but I was around for Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Sort of. I got to play it at a buddy's house, but I wasn't allowed to own Halo. I couldn't own any games with guns or shooting outside of like Star Wars Battlefront for the PS2 because it was Star Wars. But other games like that I wasn't allowed to own, so I only got my experience through a certain friend, a neighborhood friend, about a street or two over. I'd go to his house. We played a lot of WWE games, but we also played a lot of Halo 3, and specifically Halo Reach. Halo Reach was always his favorite. And then, of course, Halo 4 came out. I remember when I was in high school, Halo 5 came out, and that was supposed to be a big deal, and everyone complained because it didn't have local couch co-op. Also, just because it was bad. And then when I'm in college, I believe it was 2020, 2021, is when they released Halo Infinite. And I remember being very excited for that one and thinking, wow, this is the first Halo that's coming out when I'm an adult. I can buy it. Of course, it was only for Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox, but I got it on PC. And, well, I've kind of went back and forth on how I feel about that one. I need to replay it. And I say replay it, I never even beat it. I think I put about 10-ish, maybe hours into the campaign. And it was okay. It was certainly better than Halo 4, Halo 5. I enjoyed Halo 4 the first time I played it. Halo 5 couldn't get through the first couple missions. It was just, I was hating life. And Halo Infinite was an example of good, not great. I know more people probably spent time in the multiplayer and had different opinions about that. I wasn't very good at the multiplayer. But Halo was unfortunately one of those franchises where I didn't get to experience in its heyday. And by the time I did get to experience, it was, it's kind of like not getting to watch a single Michael Jordan game in person until watching him play for the Wizards. At that point, like, yes, you're watching Michael Jordan. You're watching someone that used to tear things up. You're just not watching him tear things up right then and there. Now, Michael Jordan for the Wizards was probably still better than a lot of other players, but Halo these days, sure, you could make a similar argument. It's still better than a lot of games, but there's a lot of games out there, and a lot of games that are better than Halo now. And while I feel like it used to be a juggernaut, a big titan, like Halo, Master Chief was iconic in the games industry. I mean, just look at Halo 3, one of the biggest video game launches of all time. They never really got back to that platform after that. And of course, Bungie left. They went to go work on Destiny and Destiny 2, and then 343 Industries took over. We saw how that turned out. Again, Halo Infinite's probably the best 343 Studios game that they've been able to make, so I guess that's good. But even then, it's still not better than any Bungie Halo game. And I say this even as someone that was never really a fan of ODST. I struggled to get into that one. I would still probably play ODST over Infinite. Maybe. They'd be neck and neck. But Halo Campaign Evolved is coming out, and I think this is a really big deal because, like I mentioned, I wasn't around for it in its prime. I got to play a lot of Halo in college on my PC through the Master Chief Collection. When I went through, I actually first played it in high school. Finally, my senior year was when my parents just kind of gave up on, okay, well, you're 18, you're still in high school, and you're living under our roof, but, oh well, you're an adult, do whatever you want, I guess. So I got all the Halo games for my original Xbox and Xbox. Me and my brother played them all through all the campaigns, Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach. We played ODST. We even played 4. And we managed to have fun with all of them. But I think it was more so just getting like a bonding experience and getting to play with someone. Because you'll probably realize, I think most people understand, is that playing with someone, having fun with someone can make any game decent. Even some of the worst games out there I've been able to enjoy because I've played it with good company. Playing alone, though, is not always the same thing. Sometimes you don't get the same experience. And that's what I've kind of experienced going through and replaying a lot of the Halo games, is that I have a blast with Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach. Halo 4, on the other hand, was nowhere near as fun going back to replay it. I didn't even bother trying Halo 5 again. And Halo Infinite, I remember opening it back up and planning on spending some time in it. And again, maybe an hour or two more so. And it just didn't really hook me. It's fun for a little bit, but it doesn't feel like anything I really want to beat and see the end of the story. It's more so just play around and play with the guns and stuff like that. I'm really hoping that this is a new experience and a new chance for Halo to kind of step out there and get back to their glory days. I know that's pretty wishful thinking, considering this is a remake of the first game, which has already gotten a remake, and this is only the campaign. This isn't even the multiplayer. I'm a little disappointed in that because again, I've experienced the Halo campaign. So this is nothing new. This is just better graphics. They added third person, which is kind of weird, but luckily you don't have to do that. And then there are 3 new prequel missions before that, so that's pretty cool too. I'll enjoy that, and I'm sure that the game will probably be in that state of it's fun, it's good, but is it something that it's like, oh my gosh, Halo is back, baby, it's back, it's a titan again. I don't know. I feel like you kind of need new Halo games to do that. I don't think you can just recycle and remake old Halo games over and over and call that good. Take Resident Evil, for example. After they hit some pretty low lows after Resident Evil 6, well, how did they rebound? They made Resident Evil 7, and that was insanely great. That was a great game. Then they made Resident Evil Village. Yes, they remade Halo 2, or Resident Evil. Yes, they remade Resident Evil 2, and that was an incredible remake, very well done. Resident Evil 3 remake, I have an unpopular opinion that I enjoy it, but I also realize it's not a good remake, but just on its own, it's fine. I mean, it's tolerable. And of course, they have the Resident Evil 4 remake. Now they're making Resident Evil Veronica remake. So yes, they've had remakes, but they've also been able to make Resident Evil 7 was a new adventure, and that was great. Resident Evil Village was pretty short, and I know it had its shortcomings, but overall was a really good game. And then Resident Evil Requiem, in my opinion, is the Game of the Year winner so far. So I think they've really almost written the playbook of how to come back to being a big name in the gaming industry, because now anytime Capcom puts something out under the Resident Evil tagline, they could remake some DS handheld game. They could remake one of the freaking, I don't know, they could probably bring back, what's it called, the Reverse, and people would probably get excited about that, even though that's already failed before, twice I think. I really hope that Halo can have the same trajectory. I would love to see Halo get some good remakes. I know Halo 2 got the anniversary edition, but if they end up remaking 2 after that, and then of course 3, there's some great games they can pull from and remake and have lots of good content. I do hope at some point maybe they are working on a separate, an add-on for the multiplayer, something, because I feel like that's a big element of Halo. Yes, the campaigns are really good, but Halo multiplayer is also equally, if not as big. And so, again, wishful thinking perhaps, but I really hope it's not. I would love for them to come back and be a big name in the industry, and also not even just have good remakes, but have new games that are, good games. I don't know where they go from after Halo Infinite. They kind of went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now Infinite. They skipped Halo 6, and it's Infinite, because I believe the whole basis of this game was that it was a open world Halo. And I don't even think that was necessarily a bad idea. It felt fine. It was kind of interesting. I feel like there was just no drive to finish the game. The story didn't feel very entertaining for me. Like I said, I spent about 10 to 12 hours in it, between one partial playthrough and then revisiting for a couple hours. And I can't really hardly tell you anything about it. I know there's some pilot that you save or rescue, I want to say, and at the beginning of the game, you go through a mission and they lead you to believe that maybe Master Chief died, I think. because there's this big baddie that's, going around and like he's real tough and scary. I remember you get the hook. The main thing is I know you can get the little thing where you can like get troopers to follow you and get in your your vehicles with you and different guns to pick up. And sometimes there's like bounties or something. You go to different spots on the map and kill like exceptionally tough targets, and then you have a little hook, I want to say, or a jetpack or something. But like I've had some fun in it. There is some cool aspects and elements. It's not a bad game. I just still don't feel like it's a classic Halo game, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Maybe my expectations are too high. I don't feel like they are personally. I feel like it's fine from a big name like Halo to be able to return to form. It's not like I'm asking some small indie developer to create some new titan in the gaming industry and do something insurmountable. So I will be getting. I've already pre-ordered Halo Campaign Evolved. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it. I hope that maybe I've got a buddy that supposedly got it too. I think on Xbox. I'm hoping that we will be able to co-op because it's got cross-play, is what I saw online, and be able to play the campaign together. In old classic Halo fashion. Supposedly you can play with up to 4 players. That seems a little weird. That feels like a little much for Halo. I mean, I bet it's fun. It just feels a little different. I feel like that's a co-op thing. I'm hoping that I'll be able to play it co-op with my buddy as long as he's cool with it, and that we can record and do a little playthrough on here. If that's the case, I don't know. I'm not certain how soon it'll be up. I would be fine with just playing the whole thing, or at least knocking it out in like a couple days. But I know he's a pretty busy guy, so it might be a week or 2. I don't really know. It's not like the original Halo was that long. Most of the Halos were like 8 to 10 hours at most. It did add some other missions, so that might boost the playtime a little bit. We'll see, but regardless, I'll be playing it. If I don't play it with someone else, I'll play it by myself and put it up here. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, I assume every Halo fan is thinking the same thing as me and hoping that maybe this is something. Maybe this will breathe some life into the franchise. It doesn't seem completely dead, but it's on the ropes. It's close to dying. It's endangered. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.